So today we will be solving the sine of 2x is equal to negative square root 3 over 2. So the first thing we would have to remember is how the sine is always the y value. And then in this case, since the y value or the output is negative, meaning that the y value would have to be negative, it would have to be either on the third quadrant or the fourth quadrant. So right now, if we reference back to our reference table right here, we would know that if we go from the sine and then go straight across to where we see the square root 3 over 2, we find it over here in this part where it says the reference angle would be 60 degrees. From there, we would know that our reference would have to be pi over 3. So then from there, we look at our unit circle in quadrants 3 and 4 at where the denominator would be over 3. So in this case, it would be 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. So and then we can also double check that since we know that from here the y coordinate is negative pi over 3 over 2. And then same as here where the y coordinate is also negative square root 3 over 2. So from there, we've confirmed that our answers we'll have two answers in which one of them would have 4 pi over 3 as a part of it, and the other one would have 5 pi over 3 as another part of it. And then now the next part of it, we set the argument, which is 2x equal to one of them. So we'll start with 4 pi over 3 plus 2 pi n. And then this one over here would be the same thing, except instead of this one, we replace it with 5 pi over 3. And then now we would start doing this separately to make sure that we get a right answer for each of them. So from here, in order to get the x by itself, we would have to divide 2 on both sides. So if we divide by 2 here, we would get x is equal to 4 pi over 6 plus pi times n. And then if we simplify that even further, we would get x is equal to 2 pi over 3 plus pi over n. So that would be our first answer. And now for the second part over here, we do the same thing where we divide by 2. And then we get x is equal to 5 pi over 6 plus pi times n. And then from there, we can't simplify like we did over here since it's already simplified. And then that's our two answers right here. So in conclusion, the sine of 2x is equal to negative square root 3 over 2 can also be simplified into where the x is equal to 2 pi over 3 plus pi times n, and also 5 pi over 6 plus pi over n, plus pi times n.